my name is Laura. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video today. So today I'm going to be chopping and propping a couple of plants. I have my Philodendron pedatum. I know this is already in water, so I don't know if you remember, I've shown this plant probably 100 times, but this large pedatum, this guy, was so tall that it snapped. Sad, aw, boo. It was going to do that. It's my bad for not getting it up on a moss pole sooner, so it did snap, but that's okay. I threw it in water about 2 days ago when it did snap, and now I'm going to be just cutting it up and propagating it, just like doing a one node, one leaf chop so that each of these like leaf node combos can turn into a plant. That way it'll be nice and bushy when I do pot it all up together again and put it on a moss pole because it does need it. The second plant that I will be chopping and propping today is my Philodendron Campo Sportoanum. This is kind of the most mature leaf I have of this guy, but it has been neglected a little bit, honestly. That's my bad. I just let it do this. Do you see this? It's just put out like, I don't even want to say a runner because it still has leaves, but all of them are stuck. All of them are sad. Look at this leaf. What in the heck is that? That is just gross and sad. This leaf looks okay. This leaf looks okay. But I did put it up on this giant stake that I like rubber banded together. It was just like the most temporary fix that I've ever seen in my life. So I'm just gonna cut it probably around here and do, or maybe around here. I don't know, I haven't decided. And do just node propagations of it because it does have some wicked aerial roots. And I don't know why it's putting out such huge aerial roots. Do you see this? The aerial roots are bigger than the leaves. It's probably because I didn't water it. It's like, please give me air water because this lady won't water me. But it is putting out some wicked aerial roots, so I'm just gonna do node propagations. I'm gonna rip off all those little leaves and just node propagate it. I don't really know where I wanna grow this guy. All like the propagations of this guy. I have this terrarium. It's similar to the Hoya terrarium that I put together before, but I don't know if it's gonna be too big. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I don't know where I'm gonna put it if I do it in this giant terrarium. Actually, I'm gonna go dig through my plant supplies and see if I can find something smaller than this, because this is a little ridiculous for what I need. Okay, I found something better. I have these two. I think one is gonna be too small, but between the two of them, I can split the cuttings between the two. I don't know if I said, but my pedatum, I am gonna just let propagate in water. I have a cute little vase that I'm gonna do that in. So this should be quick. I just need to get this done. Just do a little bit of plant chores with you. Okay, I don't know if this camera angle is any better, but I don't have to like squat as much so it doesn't hurt my legs as much because I worked out yesterday and I am hurting. I'm hurting. Okay, I'm gonna put some moss in here and in the other prop container, and then I'll start letting them just hydrate while we do our chopping. I'm filled it up about this much for this one. I'm gonna add some water and just let it sit. I might have to pour some out or add more, I don't really know yet. And then same with this one. Just pour some water and just let it sit while we do our chopping. Ooh, just poured it all over myself. That was super fun and all over the floor. Okay. And there's a bunch of like, I don't know how I feel about this moss. There's a bunch of like junk in there. It's like the orchid moss. I think I got it on Amazon. But like I was out of moss and I couldn't find it anywhere. And so it was like the only thing I could get in the moment, and I did. And I don't know if I love it. It's just kind of like, I don't know, chunky. It's like dirty. It comes with other stuff that isn't just moss. And I believe it's like a sphagnum moss mostly, but it just, I don't know. I try to use sphagnum moss for my propagations just because moss is such like an unsustainable thing, but that is a conversation for another time. Got my scissors and I'm gonna cut. So I'm trying to decide where to cut this guy. Definitely don't want Maybe I'll cut them here. That would give me what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. I don't know. I'm like really excited to cut, and then like once it comes to it, I'm like, I'm nervous now. Ooh. Okay. This one it just looks so like wimpy. Well, this whole plant just looks so rough. Maybe we just cut all the way down here. Here we go. The cut has been made. So this is what we are left with. The plant, I guess I can pull that extension, the really nasty extension on my moss pole. It just looks really sad. My Campo used to look really pretty. I don't know. I think I did videos of it before. It just used to be such a pretty plant, and then it just went downhill. I don't know. So this is what I have left. I don't know if I want to pull all the leaves off. I haven't really decided. So I'm just gonna chop it. Some of these are like little nodes without leaves. So if you can see that one, there's no leaf attached to that one. So obviously that'll just be a node prop. But I don't know if I want to take these leaves off. They're kind of cute, you know? They're kind of cute. Leave them on for now. Then we'll see. Then I'll decide what to do. So I'm just gonna chop each node. If you're propagating, just make sure you have a node with each propagation. And if you have aerial roots like that, usually that will give you a lot more success when it comes to growing your plant. So do try to make sure that you have aerial roots if possible. Let's see, keep chopping. I will be taking these like the ugly ones off. Okay. I don't know if that was dumb. That one has like barely any aerial roots, so that might have been a dumb chop, but I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm just going to take the leaves off. Usually they just kind of rip off pretty easily, yeah. And I will leave that there for a second. I'll do that with this one as well. Come on, little guy. I have found that when I propagate, just node propagation, and I learned this from Harley, so I'm not gonna take any of the credit for this, but just node propagation without leaves, generally there's less rot involved, and the leaves do come out a lot prettier. Oh, you can see a little growth bump on that one. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Do you see that little, let me see. Come on, focus. Focus. You definitely can't, but that little white bump right there is a little growth bump, which is what you want, because if there's no growth bump, you're probably not going to get any growth. But yes, I'm still super hesitant about taking these leaves off. I think I'm going to leave them. I think I'm going to leave these 2 leaves on, as well as this one. This one's so cute. And I'm just going to stick these in one container, and then my other 4, these 4, just nodes in another one. So we'll come back to this. There's a lot more water in here than we need, so I'm gonna go pour it out and kind of squeeze out any of the excess water. I'll be right back. So I squeezed out all of the excess water. This is kind of the texture of the moss we're left with. It's still like pretty movable, like it's not super compacted down with water, like weighed down, I guess is the word, not compacted. I'm taking some of it out of here and putting it in the other container, because this is just a lot for this little container. I think I'm gonna put the 4 just node props in here. Some of these are a little long, so maybe I'll cut them down, yeah. Make them a little bit shorter. I like leaving like a decent amount on each side, like maybe at least ½ an inch, because sometimes, oh, that went flying. Oh no, I do not want that to be on the floor. My dogs will find it and they will eat it and they will get sick. No, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, because sometimes they will rot on the tips a little bit, and so if it's not super close to the node, it doesn't really matter, but if it is, then not super great success for the plant. So again, I'm just cutting them down a little bit smaller so that they kind of fit in there, because it's kind of a tight space. I went from like a container that was way too ridiculously big to one that was like way too small. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. This is what that looks like. Oh, they're all rolling in there. It doesn't really matter. It's just a bunch of nodes in a container. I'll show you at the end what it all looks like so that you can get a better idea. But yes, I'm just kind of try to space them out a little bit so that as they start to grow, they don't get all tangled up. Yeah, okay. Put the little lid on that to keep the humidity high. And now with this one, I'm just gonna stick them in, just facing up like so. Try not to have the leaves like super submerged in the moss, but obviously they're gonna have to touch the moss. There's not really a way around that, and that's okay. Just don't want them like buried because I don't want them to rot. And if they do start rotting, I'll just take them off and put them in with the other nodes. Okay, that's a little tight. I literally went from like way too much space to not enough, but that should be good. These three are good. So I will put the little lid on this. I'll show you all the props at the end so you can get an idea of what they all look like, but I'm gonna put these aside while I start cutting up my pedatum. So I think I'm gonna leave this kind of mother plant as is. Maybe, I'm getting second thoughts. Maybe I'll cut another extra node off of that one. We'll see. Okay. So this one broke at kind of an unfortunate spot, so there's not a ton of space there for this to sit in water, but I think it should be okay. I'm just gonna start cutting right there. I want the top of the stem, like above the node, to be pretty short so that the bottom of the next one can be pretty long so it can sit in water. So not like this one, but again, this one just snapped, so I didn't really have a choice of where I was going, so I'm just gonna cut. That's kind of satisfying. And I'm gonna cut here. And I've been watching, look how pretty these leaves are, right? So stunning. This is one of the prettiest philodendron, I swear. I've been watching a lot of Fern's videos over on her channel. And she's been doing this with a lot of her plants where she's just like cutting up her large, like kind of gangly philodendron and making them into fuller plants on moss poles. And it has really inspired me. Like I'm so anxious usually to chop plants up. I don't know why. I feel like, I don't know, like it grew so much and now I'm gonna chop it up. I don't know, it gives me like so much like, you know, I'm gonna go put more water in this. The reason I reuse this is because this was my liquid dirt water and my liquid dirt's upstairs and I don't wanna go get it because I'm lazy. And so I just wanted to reuse the rest of that liquid dirt water. I'm gonna fill it up a little bit more. But yeah, I'm like super hesitant to do that. I don't know why. It just like, I don't know. But now that I've seen her do it, it's giving me a little bit more of like a push to do it myself, to just like get my plants propagated and grow them out on a moss pole, make them bushier, make them happier, and make them prettier. Like they honestly look so much prettier that way, but it's like, this is the process you have to go through to get there. And it just like, I don't know, makes me a little nervous and a little sad even. Look how beautiful that leaf is. This I think is the most mature leaf that was on that plant. It is stunning, stunning. Okay. That's what I have so far. That's cool, that looks really cool. Okay. Do I take another cutting on this guy? Do I do it? He's like on this really wobbly pole. I think I'm gonna take 1 or 2 more cuttings on this guy. I don't know, y'all. I am feeling a little out there today, I guess. Oh, I did it. I took 2 more cuttings off. Wow, look at me, I'm so brave. That was a joke. That was an absolute joke. A terrible one too. But we are left with 3 leaves on this guy, which honestly, I should just cut it all up, but I'm not going to because that gives me too much anxiety. For no reason, also, for no reason, because there's no reason to be worried about these plants, but it worries me. It worries me nonetheless. Okay, I'm gonna cut these 2 now. This is what I have from these 2. The internodal space on this one and the next one was pretty short. So it's another one that has kind of a short little stem there, but that's okay. It should be okay. I'm gonna pop them in here. I know you can't see anything. I'm very sorry. I don't know why I chose to do this way because you can't see. There we go. There we go. We have all of the cuttings in here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look how cool that looks. That looks really cool. So I'm just gonna let this sit and root up, and once it's rooted up, I do have a really big moss pole I saw in my plant supplies that I did not realize I had, so I think I'm gonna use that for this guy once this is all rooted up. So that's how it's sitting. I don't know if you can really see a ton. Oh, this guy fell out. No, not good. Not good. Stay in the water, buddy. Oh, they're all falling out. Hold on. I like wiggled it a little too much, and then they're all like, we're out, friends, we're out. Okay, there we go. So that is how they're sitting. They're all submerged in water, and they should be good. They should grow. They should do the thing, you know? They should root up and do the thing. And I'm excited about them now. Now that they're all in here, I'm excited. But before, it was like very nerve-wracking. Okay, they're all falling out. I need to put this down. Okay, pardon the mess, because I am doing a lot of repotting today, but this is what is left. These are the cuttings that I took of the pedatum. Oh, don't get tangled up. They're just sitting in the water. Have all of the nodes submerged. And then this is what is left of the mama plant. It has, come on, focus, 3 leaves left. I think one of these was the original leaf that it came with. And then these kind of scragglers. And we'll let her kind of grow out. And then once I get it on the moss pole, we'll see if I take more cuts or not, but I'm gonna leave that for my own anxiety's sake. And then I have the Camposportoanum cuttings. So there are the ones that have leaves. They're just sitting in the moss. I have them kind of like the nodes submerged, if that makes sense. Yeah. And the rest, like the leaves are just sitting on top. And then these are just the little node cuttings. So again, I tried to kind of have the aerial nodes, or the aerial roots, I mean, kind of submerged, but some of them are going like in every direction. So it's kind of hard to get them like in the moss all the way. But that's how they're sitting, and these will be covered so that the humidity stays high and they can root up. I think Campos really like humidity, so maybe that's where I went wrong with these. Oh, there we go. And the mama plant is here. She's just looking rough. She's not looking good. It's just looking like droopy because I didn't water it. So yeah, that is it. Hopefully this will grow, and maybe I'll get this one up on a moss pole as well once everything is all said and done and rooted up. That is gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me prop 2 of my philodendrons today. They really, really needed it, so I'm very glad we got this done today. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!